Yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy Jay back with another video. And before I even get started, I am so excited for this video. Like genuinely, like yesterday I made the video on what is a loser, what's the loser mentality. And I'm so happy to share with you guys my insights on what a winner is today so that way you guys can audit yourself today, tonight, whenever you're watching this and think about if you're actually applying this. Now, before we get started, I got to do the intro. Today marks day 9 of me consistently posting on YouTube every single day. If you're new here, my goal is to post every single day until I reach a year's worth of content. EI or IE 365 videos. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, and bring your friends along too. But we could use all the people that we can get. I'm still thinking about what I want this community to be called, but that's beside the point. We'll get to that later. Let's get to the real content, right? If you clicked on this video, you want to know how to be a winner and what the mindset of a winner is. So right now I'm gonna run it down for you. Get out a notebook, get out a pen, and let's pay attention. Let's learn something. So number one, the mindset of a winner, from what I've noticed, has 3 different things, right? 3, write that down. The first thing is dedication, right? That's a given. I feel like everyone knows that, but I'm just going to include that again. It's always important to have dedication to your goals. It's always important to not give up at the slightest sign of friction or, hindrance to your goals. Number 2, they have a high leverage mindset. They don't think in terms of just raw output, but they think in terms of how they can maximize what they already have. Number 3, they have the ability to study the terrain. And I'll get more onto that later. But number 1, let's start with the first one, right? Dedication. That's very important. That people talk about it a lot, but there's a difference between talking about something and actually living it out, actually doing it, right? When you have dedication, and on a side note, I don't believe that everyone knows what dedication means or how deep your dedication needs to be in order to achieve your goals. So right now I'm gonna run it down for you. Dedication means no matter how you're feeling, if you're dedicated to doing something, if you have a goal, you will find a way to do it again and again and again. Every day that you wake up, you will get closer to your goal, right? You will do everything that you need to do to get to your goal. You won't say, I'm dedicated today, but then tomorrow you say, oh, I need to take a break. I don't feel like it today. No, it's an everyday thing. When Mike Tyson trained, he didn't say, I don't feel like it today. He was up every single day. It didn't matter. It could be rain or hail outside. He was still outside at 4 a.m. jogging, right? That's how your mindset needs to be. You need to have the discipline and the mindset of, even if I don't feel like it right now, I'm going to get there, right? And even if I don't get there right away, I'm going to keep going until I achieve my goals. I'm going to keep going until I get to where I need to be. That's the first thing, dedication. Now, many people, they start out dedicated, and I want to be fair to that. Everyone thinks that they'll start off, persistent. Everyone has the grand vision of how they'll be. But when things hit the fan, when things get real, when life gets real, many people bail out. And it's not to judge anyone, but if you notice in yourself that you have that tendency to bail out when things get hard, maybe you say to yourself, I'm gonna jog 3 times a week. And when it's time for you to jog, it's raining out. Or, maybe you say, I'm gonna study today. But when you get home from work, you just want to go to bed, right? You can do that if you want to, but are you really dedicated to your goal, right? You'll know that you're dedicated when a moment of friction hits you, but you still decide to stay on the route of your goal, even when it's more comfortable not to, even when it's more comfortable to relent on your discipline, even if just for a day, even if just for a second, right? That's dedication. That's real dedication. And dedication is only realized when you don't want to be dedicated, if that makes sense. You know that you're disciplined, you know that you're resilient, you know that you'll know that you have perseverance when you hit an obstacle and you still decide to go towards your goal, even when you don't want to. So that's number 1. Number 2, What did I say? What did I say? I'm tired, y'all. All right, what did I say? Number two, they have a high leverage mindset. That's what it was, a high leverage mindset. Now, a high leverage mindset, it may sound fancy or something like that, but it's actually very simple. A high leverage mindset means that you don't think in terms of raw output, like you don't trade your time for money, but if this metaphor makes sense, you maximize the amount of money that you make in 1 hour, right? Or to give you a better example, you don't focus on just raw grinding, right? You don't rely on solely on dedication, but you focus on leverage, how you can optimize your time or your schedule. If you look at athletes, singers, dancers, CEOs, the most successful people, they don't they don't waste their time on minute things. They focus on that which is very, very important. I remember reading this article, and I think it was about Elon Musk. Apparently his meetings are like 5 minutes long. You may have to fact check me on that, but basically what I learned is that his meetings are very short. When you usually think about CEOs, sometimes their meetings span for like 5 hours talking about things that really aren't important. Elon Musk, from what I read, he's straight to the point, right? Because he understands the importance of time. Winners understand that time is finite. So the more that you can maximize that time, the higher your odds of winning. If you want another example, look at these language YouTubers, right? I think his name is Xiaoma NYC. You got Frankie Light. You have what's her name? Oriental Pearl, I believe that's her name. These are people who know multiple languages. These are people who can master a language just like that. If you look at all of their videos where they break down how they did it, the most common thing that you will hear them say is that they focused on the 20% of things that got them the 80% of results. That is what winners do. They focused on what is the how much value can I extract with the least amount of effort, right? So if you want to learn Mandarin, right? Don't you can if you want to, but don't focus on learning random minute words like colors. Focus on the heavy hitter phrases. Hello, goodbye, where are you? My name is. I want this, I need that, right? You'll find that you move up the ladder much faster than someone who spends an entire week memorizing colors and the word dirt and the character for grass, right? You have to be able to prioritize your life in a certain way where you can achieve your goals without wasting time. Sometimes that's what separates winners from losers. It's not just about dedication, but it's about the time that they are able to accomplish something. If you look at sprinters, sometimes it comes down to a fraction of a second. They both train really hard, but at the end of the day, when you look at the camera, the footage, it comes down to whose foot, whose leg touched the finish line first, right? Get that? You have to drill that in, right? That's where the leverage aspect comes in at. And I promise you, if you look at your life right now and you want to achieve a goal, if you want to do something quickly, focus on what are the heaviest things that I can do right now that get me the heavy results without me, wasting time. For me, I'll speak from personal experience. Right now, I'm learning AI automation and I'm learning sales, right? I want to sign my first client. I believe that it's so important to, especially in 2026, and just period, to have skills under your belt, right? I'm focusing on AI automation, but I've niched down. I have 3 niches that I'm into, and I've taken the bare bones of what I need to be successful, and I've studied that, and now I'm already moving forward, right? When you grasp the fact that time is finite, then this makes sense even more. You realize that, okay, if I can accomplish all of this in half the amount of time, then my odds of success have to increase drastically. While other people are dragging their feet, while they're focusing on things that are minute, unimportant. Meanwhile, I'm going forward, I'm surpassing everyone simply by leveraging my time and having that mindset of high leverage. That is one of the secrets of a winner that many people don't talk about. People emphasize hard work and dedication. And while that's important, it's also very, very important that you understand the leverage aspect too. And if you want me to talk more about this, just comment down below and I'll be sure to make a video about, the high leverage mindset because I read a couple of books about this and it's actually pretty interesting. But that's number 2, having a high leverage mindset. Now, number 3, it kind of relates to number 2, but this one is it's a little more advanced. Understanding the terrain. And when you think about understanding the terrain, you may think about war. You may think about how, when there's a war or there's a territorial conflict, you got to study the terrain. There's mountains, there's marshes, there's swamps, there's all of these different things. Well, likewise, you need to understand how to do the same thing, right? If you can understand the terrain of your goal, then it becomes much more easier for you to accomplish that goal. So I'll give you guys an example. Let's say, what's something that everyone can relate to? Let's say that you have an addiction, right? It doesn't have to be smoking. Maybe you have a junk food addiction. Maybe you're addicted to eating Doritos or something like that, something harmless, right? Many people, what they'll do, they'll try to power through their addiction. They'll try to just quit cold turkey. They'll try to say, you know what, I'm done with that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that anymore. And then they find out that a week later, they're back to where they started. And for some people, quitting cold turkey, that works. Maybe you can stop eating Twinkies. Maybe you can stop eating Twinkies just on command like that. But a lot of people, they don't work like that. That's not how you work. You have to understand the terrain of addiction. Well, what is addiction? It's something up here. It's your mind. So you need to understand, how does addiction work? How does my brain work? You need to understand reward circuits, dopamine, withdrawal. If you want to even study evolution, why am I addicted to junk food? Well, I know that junk food has a lot of sugar in it, maybe salt. My ancestors, as a human species, we know that our ancestors, these things were valuable to them. So like, sugar, salt, and I think something else, but these 2 things were very valuable to them because, access to food was very small back then. So their brain evolved to, once I see it, once I taste this, I'm gonna eat as much as possible so that way, when I don't have, enough food to my name, when I don't have access to salt or sodium and sugar, I'll be fine. And that was good back then, but now, it's turned into a hindrance because we have all the food that we need. For many people in the world, they have what they need in terms of food, but we're still operating on this logic that we developed thousands and thousands of years ago. Right? That would be an example of understanding the terrain. I took a simple problem or a simple goal, quitting junk food, and I understood the terrain of the root of the problem, which is addiction. And I connected it to the brain. I connected it to evolution. I connected it to how our minds operate, right? Do you see how, because I was able to understand the terrain of my goal, now it makes it easier for me to understand how to break free from this, right? If I just went in and said, I'm just quit. I don't need to understand what's, why this is even going on. I'm just going to quit. Then I'm back to doing the same thing a week later because I didn't understand the terrain of my goal. Let's say that, another example. Let's say that you constantly wake up and, you're tired, right? Many people, they have the solution, well, let me just get to bed earlier. And you notice that you go to bed earlier, but you still wake up tired. Well, why is that? Or you may get 9 hours of sleep, but if your sleep is constantly being interrupted, then it doesn't matter, right? If you're eating a lot of salt before bed, if you're eating a lot of sugar, if you have habits before bed like looking at your phone or your screen or drinking caffeine, then that sleep doesn't matter, right? You could get 10 hours of sleep and still wake up very, very tired, right? Understanding the terrain, understanding the mechanics of your goal. That's something that winners obsess over. If you look at we've been using track as an example, so let's rock with it, right? If you look at track athletes, it's not just about running. That's the beginner mindset. Track athletes, star track athletes, Noah Lyles, Sha'Carri Richardson, um, I can't think of the other ones right now, right? Usain Bolt. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. They understand not just the basics, but they understand the complete terrain of their goal. So if their goal is to become as fast as possible, they don't just say, I'm going to run faster. They study what are the mechanics behind speed? What muscles do I need to work? How is my core important into stabilizing me when I'm running? How much should I pump my arms when I run? What is the what is the correct split for me to have? What are some technical mechanics that I can master so that, my win comes easy? This is what winners obsess over. They obsess over not just the broad overview, but the technicalities. If you've heard the expression, the devil is always in the details, this is a prime example of it. If you want to get to the root of something, you have to be able to dig not only broad, but you have to be able to dig deep until you understand, something that the other person doesn't understand, right? Essentially, to sum it all up, winning is about finding that advantage or that unfair advantage that the other person doesn't have, and then maximizing it as much as possible. And this doesn't, have to be about cheating or anything like that, but focus on what exactly you can maximize, and then, what your opponent, what they're not maximizing, what they're not focusing on, and then making sure that you focus and cultivate your skills as much as possible. These are the top three things that a winner focuses on. Number one, the dedication, right? We talked about this. That's important. Everyone knows to be dedicated. Some people, many people, they don't understand the level of dedication that you need in order to win. But it's primarily a given. The things that are not talked about is the high leverage mindset and then understanding the terrain of your goal, right? These are if you want to get like a conspiracy person, you can say that these are the golden truths that successful people don't want you to know, right? These are the things that actually guarantee their success if you want to go that deep. But really, if you look at it, it's common knowledge. But these things they're underrated. No one's going to talk about the mechanics. Many people, they'll tell you, you need to just work harder, and it's not that you don't need to work harder, but come on, everyone knows that. But there's always something else. There's always another secret. There's always another avenue that you didn't explore, right? I promise you that if you incorporate these three things into your life, your mindset, your routine, that you will experience results, right? It's impossible not to, because look at the facts, right? Let's say you have any goal. You're dedicated, right? So no matter what, you're going to continue on that path until you get close or you achieve your goal. Number two, right? You're not only dedicated to your goal, you're not only getting up in the morning, you're not only studying for your goal, you're not only visualizing your goal, right? But you also have the technical understanding of your goal. You understand the mechanics behind your goal. You understand why you need to achieve this goal. You understand how to achieve this goal, right? And then number three, you also have the what do I call it? What is this word? Not is it tenacity? What is it? I'm trying to understand. You understand the terrain of your goal. You have the tact, that's what it is, the tactical skills to achieve your goal. Now, if you like this video, hopefully you took notes on this. But if you like this video, make sure to like, make sure to comment what you thought about the video, comment what you learned, and then, look forward, because tomorrow I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to become a winner. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, a notification, and enjoy your day, enjoy your week, enjoy your evening, whatever, whenever time you're watching this, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.